flipped on its head, turned on its head that way. I thought Brendan Fraser did a pretty good job of like being that character of a Harvard kid and being kind of unlikable, but not over the top of like, just totally a jerk or anything. Like he towed that line pretty well of for the plot to work. Like he has to be kind of not has to have like this evolution with Joe Pesci's character too. Like
Well, I think
has to be annoyed with him at first.
Right, and I think the whole part that Joe Pesci abandoned his family, especially his son, and then Brendan Fraser growed up without a dad, kind of led to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Brendan Fraser had that resentment of a father figure, and
Right.
Simon Wilder kind of fielded it at the end. You know what I mean?
Right.
Got him up to speed with, hey, these are the lessons you should know.
And I was scared to death that they was going to try to twist it to where, like, we find out that Simon's really Monty's dad, and I was like, don't do it.
Oh yeah, that would be weird.
That would just ruin it and would make it completely stupid, but they didn't, and I was thankful for that. Apparently I've watched too many of these newer movies that do this garbage nonsense, because a good movie like this, they didn't go down these obvious paths that they could have.
Yeah, and I like that it wasn't sappy. It didn't take those predictable turns of this is a fairy tale ending or
Right.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it was real, or at least I felt like they were trying to hit real. Simon died. That's how it ended up in the end. His son did not want to see him or have anything to do with him. His son did not cave and give him that token of, hey, this is your grandchild or anything. He just like dismissed him, and that's probably what would happen in the real world in that situation. I would say 9 times out of 10.
And then Simon had an obituary and included his quote-unquote family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tied it up at the end with a little funny obituary, which I could see because he was a funny guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciated the overall lesson that you can't learn real world stuff in an ivory tower college versus what you can learn even though you're a bum.
Yeah.
Bums are people too, and
Right.
not all of them are just worthless.
Right.
I mean, I know people that are worthless regardless of their social status.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting deal. Okay. Is there anything that you just despised? Because I know, Justin, you've had issues with characters in the past, as have I, Joe.
No.
Is there any character you're just like, this person stinks?
No, my only complaint was Patrick Dempsey's. He had the '90s hairdo, and it's like the big over the top. I just like, come on now.